in recent games, and it did okay, I suppose. But the main thing is there's no one really that wants to reliably rotate on Execration towards these power runes just to make sure that Storm isn't getting them. Whereas I feel like the Shadow Shaman's going to be able to do so. Like, not the fastest hero, but Dawnbreaker is much more capable of being left solo compared to a Razor. I feel like if Razor gets left solo, you're going to get jumped by a Bloodseeker Chen combination and probably die. Not so much with a Dawn. At least you've got that escape.
And with the potential for their TI qualifier run to be over here on Neon, do we feel like they have what it takes to send it to a game 3?
I think they got what it takes, for sure. But they need to build and respect the minus armor components that I was talking about. They weren't scouted out by this Observer Ward, by the way, to the right-hand side of the Radiant Outpost. So they're in their little hidey hole here. Maybe going to try and catch out someone and pick up that first blood if Alchemist walks inside their vision, which he hasn't just yet. Really just both walking out. Ser, is he going to cross that border? He seems to know the exact location of any kind of vision. Playhard eventually moves on forward and will actually put it in place to be able to get that vision onto the high ground, but who's there to actually, put something up there? No flying couriers exist yet.
Does Hammer give vision? I'm not sure.
No, but not that you would want to spend it this early either, Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, you don't have the greatest mana pool. Oh. Maybe they'll wait for flying couriers. Just wait that one out. It's going to take quite some time to be able to find it. But in the end, 2 for 2 in regards to the bounties. You have the creeps meet for the second time this series at the mid lane. Bob on the Conquer Avatar mode on the Storm Spirit. You were mentioning that the Storm Spirit is someone who has a decent amount of armor early on, up to 5. So do you feel like Avatar mode should be well and truly okay in this matchup? Is there any levels that he's a little bit more weak against the Conquer?
I think he's just going to be okay. I mean, all throughout, Conquer's always this irrepressible force that's always just going to be harassing you for free in the laning stage. I mean, look at Avatar mode. He's already nearly, well, not out of regen, but the bottle's going to come at a very welcome time, let's say that much. He's just constantly getting harassed down. He'll probably be down to about, 100 HP after the next Tidebringer. Actually misses with it on Bob. Very uncharacteristic from him.
Is this a concern, though, that Bob is going to have a very good lane? I guess this is the one thing, because they did pick the Conquer not knowing what the mid matchup was going to be. So usually this hero has a good time regardless, but you picked the Storm to it. So it's not like they're both going to farm, but you're not shutting down Bob. Is this a concern? Because we've seen him just pop off time after time in these qualifiers.
It's a little bit of a concern for sure. Stun coming through there. The thing is, they didn't just pick it thinking, okay, Conquer just beats everything in the lane. They made sure to pick it when they had the option to be able to ban Alina. They made sure it was done after the Queen of Pain had already been banned out as well. So I like the fact that even when they can't give Bob this winning matchup, they're still going to give him one that's at the very least drawing even, and he could very easily win this match too.
They're off to a fine start at the mid lane, but in other lanes, see how Palace has been able to shape himself up here with the Alchemist. Of course, a much better laner than the Alchemist has ever been. He's paired with an Undying though, so did you feel like these two have a decent amount of synergy in the lane? Can they get kills?
Not really. I think the biggest issue for me is the movement speed. As long as Playhard's not in a terrible position, he should always be in a pretty fine spot to be able to get away from a lot of this aggression. He does want to be right-clicking, though, because he's got those 2 Fairy Fires picked up, and he's making a beeline for Palos, just trying to find him out. Of course, Palos needs to be in the lane farming as much as he can. I think he denied away the one of the Flag Bearer creeps, which is always a big benefit coming through. Just getting rid of all of that snowball-y gold. I mean, this is an Undying into one squishy hero and one strength hero. So Vincenzo could feel pretty confident with just continuously moving forward and getting the harass off. The main issue for me, though, is that they don't exactly have a slow to be able to catch up and make full usage out of this Unstable Concoction and Acid Spray combo.
And lastly, with our top lane here, Shanks on the Elder Titan. Do we feel like, how's his impact going to be against the Chen? Is this a lane that Seh should be able to secure the farm for the Bloodseeker, which was the last pick for Neon, or are there going to be some issues for securing Fortune Soul's lane?
I think he should be able to do it, but of course you're also susceptible to just being run down. Again, Chen, one of those heroes that very good at sustaining once you get to the 10 or so minute mark of the game, but Shanks is doing a really good job just to consistently block up a lot of these camps, make sure that Chen doesn't have anything to be able to play around of the lane. So Shanks getting a few right clicks in, like the early point in the natural order as well, just with how much you're wanting to spam out that Astral Spirit. It means that you're always going to have the mana to be able to do so.
Bottom lane. And up our first blood, Palace. Full duration charge up of the concoction. And he's got that level in the acid spray as well, as Palace will swipe away first blood. A little bit of extra gold to the Alchemist, which will soon be the Boots of Speed completed. Phase boots, I should say.
Yeah, they were waiting for the time where the Celestial Hammer had been used to secure a range creep. As soon as you don't have that movement potential, that's when they look to go on forward. So good recognition there from Execration to what was going to enable a successful team fight. As well, getting the D ward off, getting the pull through. Liking this from him. Actually putting a few more points into the decay as well. Really wanting to secure this lane for his team.
Now this mid lane as well is going to get pretty chaotic shortly with the level 6s coming out. If Bob's able to find his level 6 just before Avatar mode, then he will have some kill threat on the Storm Spirit. Of course, that ball lightning being used to be able to kind of zip to disjoint the combo. So it does look like Bob's going to find his beforehand. It's also a lane that is... I'll hold that thought. Bottom lane, Vincenzo. Drop the Tombstone before they get the kill. Neon, they're going to look to try and turn to deal with it, but they've already lost the life at Play Hard. And we should be okay. On the other side of the map, we do see the Chen go down as well. So multiple kills in both side lanes for Execration.
They got the Chen behind the tier 1 tower just with the old Astral Spirit there on Shanks. So good microing, being able to scout him out there. Palace just realizing again at this stage of the game, doesn't have the movement speed or the slows to be able to completely chase down heroes.
Avatar mode, he's in trouble. Look at the rotations from Execration and the use of the boat. It's perfectly timed. It doesn't matter that planes are shackles. They're going to turn to try and kill off the Shadow Shaman with a perfect placed taunt. They'll hold him down. But Avatar mode, that's important though. You wasted out that opportunity where if you kill the Storm Spirit with the catapult wave, it would have been a lot of damage into the tower. So Storm, he stays alive, he finds the regen rune, and you also kite out that Conquer boat usage. Very nicely done from Neon.
It's little plays like that that can really turn the tide of some of these lanes. As Chenzo looking like he wants to be helping around this mid lane as well, but I'm not sure how effective it's going to be. Moving the Undying. Now that Storm has that movement ability in the ball lightning. Actually, speaking of the movement, they're getting in on top of Tino. 3 uses of the Hurl Boulder. Just trying to slow his retreat a little bit, but still at least push him back underneath the tower and give him easier time for this Bloodseeker. Calling out how effective that was going to be. The Bloodseeker picked this game, but obviously, actually TPing down bottom here.
Onto the Alchemist. Avatar mode feels like he's required for the little bit of extra damage, and he'll yoink that kill away from Enryu. It does leave mid open, so you see the damage that Bob and Vincenzo are dishing out onto the tower.
Like the fact that they're just completely ignoring the creep wave as well all during that. Bob's like, oh, I'd rather get the damage into the tower. It was unfortunate as well that Avatar mode TP'd in onto the acid spray, so the regen rune went away. If that wasn't the case, then he would have been able to slowly zip his way back towards the mid lane and not have lost so much. So with some of these rotations, Zez in a bit of a scary position here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Got a bit cautious.
To push. You've got power runes spawning up again. This time around, the top one's not being protected, despite how close Shanks as well as Bob are. Avatar mode just getting away with a few freebies here.
Bottom lane, Enryu might be in a bit of trouble. Bob's going to look to TP down there, get the concoction, but I think he's far enough away on Enryu unless the torrent lands. But he just slips to the right, dodging the torrent. They're going to look to smoke down. Henry doesn't have enough mana for the Solar Guardian just yet, so it's going to be reliant onto the Storm Spirit damage to try and bring down the Conquer. There we go. There's the Solar Guardian, and the body blocks. Avatar mode keeps Bob locked into place so they can get the extra damage out of the Dawnbreaker ultimate. They've still got to respect Execration, though. They stomp into the Tombstone, but look at the call from Neon. Once again, they turn their attention to deal with the building. But Vincenzo, he's brought down one. He too will still fall, but Shanks, he's just cleaving them apart. Getting the right clicks going. He'll clean up Neon.
I was asking for the core Elder Titan, but we know Shanks. He plays basically like one anyway. Going into the phase boots, getting some really nice micro off with the Astral Spirit, just to be hitting like a complete truck of a businessman with his briefcase there. Actually, it's not only a briefcase. What is that? Some Thanos gauntlet?
Yeah, I don't know, crappy crap. It is probably the Thanos gauntlet. I haven't seen the briefcase in quite some time. Everyone used to mention it. You smack him down.
Creation.
Well, this is at least, you know, it's because game one was very, very dominant from Execration, but game two, it's looking pretty even. Neon, slight net worth lead, nothing crazy. Who do you feel like is a little bit happier with the status quo of this game? Because Execration, they do have an Alchemist lineup, but have Neon done enough early on to kind of slow down Palos?
I think they have. Like, he's not gotten to the super scary position just yet. You can see that he's about 1.7k gold away from picking up the... Actually gets the haste rune there on Bob. Vincenzo might give his life up for free, unless... Ooh, the miss? Nah, never mind, doesn't come through. Sorry, Shanks gets away too. I was just saying, like, Neon are about to hit this period where they hit their first lot of item timings. Fortune Soul dying, though, is not part of the plan.
Not at all. They're going to be able to drag him back into Razor's damage. Looking to unlock Tino, who's just been freely farming up in the lane. Nothing too crazy with the Razor. Decent amount of net worth, but finally Bob is able to connect to the Razor, who does have a catapult wave as well. So this tower is going to be under a little bit of pressure.
A lot of pressure, you would think. Andrew just trying to stay as far away, trying to put his own pressure onto this bottom side and TP up top if needed. The thing that really makes that even worse than what it originally feels, if you lose this tower, it's not great, but you've given up the opportunity for a lot of timings to come together all at once. Like, you've got the mech now finished on the Chen, you've got the Shadow Shaman with the Mass Serpent Wards once the Tome comes on the Courier, you've got the Storm going into the Orchid, not quite there just yet, but it'll be there close enough. And Dawnbreaker doesn't even need that many items. Dual Bracer, Soul Ring, that's all you really need. So if you had the Maelstrom on top of all of that, maybe you take a few successful team fights and use that to shove the lanes in and take away some of this space that Alchemist has to farm, but with that death, it just delays.
At the outpost, play hard. He's going to be able to drop the Serpent's blocking Tino into place. They've got the Blood Right follow-up as well. Tino's going to go down. They need more kills out of this, and they'll find it on Neon. Tombstone plus the kill onto Vincenzo. Beautifully done as they bring their numbers to reclaim their own jungle.
Got away though, and it wasn't. He walked off a log just to the right side. Nothing too stealthy, I would say.
Not too crazy. Says unfortunately not going to be able to get away though. Palos with the help of Bob being able to get the kill, and well, Palos has got. This is really nice, in fact, that they TP down to get rid of the Chen. They're going to be able to deal with these creeps. It gives Palos all the jungle, the next wave as well. So there's a lot more free farm here for the Alchemist. Oh, is he going to get these creeps?
All he needs is time.
Palos, he's sticking around for quite some time.
Just let the acid spray do the work.
Invisibility.
Oh, Sacred Relic picked up, so you are saved from a lot of that unreliable gold being lost. Some your damage to be able to get into that Radiance super early on. Gonna be nice against the Chen creeps with the army coming through, force out a little bit of an earlier mech or a little bit of an earlier Hand of God. Always feels quite nice. Speaking of that Hand of God, I'm still not into it yet at the 13-minute mark. This is the impact of that reduced experience that you're able to get, or rather the increased experience needed to be able to level up.
See if they make the attempt onto Palos. It has to be Avatar mode to start, but he's already got that Chemical Rage activated. Palos is going to move back towards the triangle where he has a gigantic stack waiting for him. Looks like he's going to hold out for the Radiance until he wants to claim this. But Neon, they have a lineup to invade. I really want to see them try and keep tabs on the triangle. Now, you need to take this out of the hands of Execration. Is Bob going to take it? Who's taking it? Looks like Bob wants it.
I think he could
classic
start to take it. No, it's fine. The thing that's causing them to do this is that they've got a lot of this vision up around where their tier 1 mid tower used to be. So they can see exactly the positioning coming through from Ser and Enryu, as well as Playhard. Well, clearly, seeing Playhard's position wasn't enough to enable Shex to get away. That's a killing spree given over. So lots of valuable gold to that Storm Spirit, who gets a regen rune and has the Orchid coming out. So this is a really big deal coming through right now. If they can look to find the Alchemist, he's the one that's scaling. He's the one that's going to win you the game. And he is a big part of your damage potential as well. So backing up, smoking, and then find the Alchemist, who, wouldn't you know it, is farming right next to one of these observer wards. They'll see the acid spray. They got to look on the map.
Oh, they just get a glimpse of him.
Yep,
so
there we go.
Where he is. I think he's too close to a
well
TC
worth the
tower.
dive. It's
You reckon?
well worth it, man.
Oh,
They got the
Shanks
damage
is nearby.
with an Orchid.
He can counter-initiate. The Elder Titan's in great position, but the Solar Guardian, let's see if the damage is going to be out fast enough. They'll get rid of the Alchemist, a great delta split.
Regen rune's going as well, so they can reinitiate if they want to.
Yeah, well,
Playhard acting as a little bit of bait right now. They're just backing off entirely. Whoever made that call from Execration, very, very smart. Might look to try and keep the regen rolling on the Storm Spirit. He's actually looking to find out Tino here.
He's going to be able to do so. Keeps the regen. The Storm's soon going to pop, but he's got the Orchid to work with. He'll need another hero. In fact, Avatar mode, he's going to do it by himself. A big solo kill for the Storm Spirit. He's level 12 now. What a great game from Avatar mode, 6-0-2. But across the other side of the map, Set, he's going to be in some trouble. Playhard is going to look to enter with the Serpent Wards. Drops it down straight on the dome of the Undying. And now even Fortune Soul's going to show up to the party. They have the Rupture if they feel it required. Instead, they're going to go to the north side because they caught out the Alchemist as Paulus ventures too far forward. Great target prioritization coming out from Neon. They avoid the support on Shanks. They see the juicier target of the Alchemist and they veer straight to him.
All that value from these unorthodox wards, right? Just not getting your wards dewarded. Even if they don't reveal quite as much space, all you need is the slightest glimpse to be able to get that pick-off that's going to slow down the next timing. And this is 16 minutes still without the Radiance. He'll get it very soon. Excuse me, very soon, but it's certainly nowhere near as oppressive, right? If he has that Radiance, maybe he lives long enough for the assistance to come in from Vincenzo with the Soul Rip, just through the blind that the Radiance would have been doing.
Yeah, for Execration, you're looking for... We've spoken a lot about the Radiance, but you're looking for the BKB after on Palace, because they will have triple BKBs, and one on Bob, which is just looking for the recipe. Tino is about to have his gold as well for the recipe. And if they can find that extra BKB, they will be ready to go. A lot of the damage is from the spells on Neon. His Bloodseeker is not at the stage where his right clicks are going to be an issue.
He's soon, though. He's almost ready to be able to turn up to this. Stacking up the Ancient Camp right before it hits 17 minutes. Who have they caught out here? Just an Undying. Playhard gives him the old yoink. Worth it, though. You really need to make sure that you're getting into this Blink Dagger ASAP on Playhard, and he's more than halfway there.
Has been killed.
Dire playing incredibly well. They are going to be able to mirror this timing that we're going to see come out shortly from Execration. And both sides, I think whoever wins this next big team fight will be able to secure Roche. Dire have Serpent Wards and the Chen summons. Radiant, you've got the Acid Spray, the Undying Tombstone, and potential ultimate. So both sides have the capability. If they win a big team fight, you will get an objective as a reward afterwards.
Wait 2 minutes, though, on Execration. Bob's career is dead, so he had to go. They might have actually ended up smoking right underneath these illusions. So they should know to be able to back off entirely. Fortune Salt getting all the way back to the safety of his tier 2 tower. And now, if I'm Neon, I'm clumping around high ground. I'm putting some vision down and making sure I'm in the right spot to contest this. This is a little crazy to me. I know you've got the Mass Serpent Wards, but do you have the damage?
So they're going to send the Spirit out as well. They'll scout this out on Execration. Let's see if they're going to be fast enough to contest this. Oh, okay, I was going to say Chen might Might die.
Chicken.
Well, they just got the Deso and Enryu, so it might actually catch Execration off guard with how fast they can kill it now.
Doesn't
And
seem
they don't
like
want to contest it
at all.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't feel strong enough. Just wanting that BKB on Bob, I suppose. It's still going to be 45 seconds until his courier is available again, and he'll have the DD rune for that next fight. Maybe just feeling that you need it on all 3 cores to be able to deal with a lot of this damage coming through. But Rupture still goes through that BKB, so it's going to be able to influence a lot in this next fight. If they could find Palos,
They're stalking him.
an amazing pick for them. They
See
see him.
pop. They got the ward on the high ground. He's going to get the Chemical Rage in Avatar mode, but the zip into the middle. The Solar Guardian's out. It's going to split the team fight into half. They're going to try and continue to chase down Palos. The Rupture holding him into place. It's up to the supports to keep him alive, but it doesn't matter. His Fortune Soul is in with the BKB, but he doesn't have anyone behind the Bloodseeker. He'll get a little bit of bonus life still back. The X will drag him back into Bob. And the damage, it's enough to get the kill, but they can clean up now as Avatar mode. He's got enough mana to zip over the tree line. As Neon, they'll just edge out a victory in the team fight, but they do have heavy casualties off the back of that.
Yeah, I appreciate Avatar mode on his Storm Spirit wanting to go for as many kills. He's having a fantastic game, doesn't want to dive too deep, but the reality is he has the Aegis, and you have a few people just wailing in onto your position 1 Bloodseeker, who popped his first BKB. Like, he needs to be able to get out of that team fight comfortably. So maybe that game, instead of looking to go for the extra just kill onto a support, you got to change up your priorities a little bit. You got to make sure that you're enabling the survival. And another regen rune coming for Avatar mode.
This is huge. Neon have done an incredible job with the rune control. Time and time again, he's had this.
Alchemist farming in the triangle too. Power of these unorthodox wards, but this time around the positioning from Execration looks a bit better.
Regen up over here now. I'm over here.
Neon, the 3,000 net worth lead.
Where's the party?
See that Execration. They are keeping up. Palos is keeping up. He's got this BKB coming out now, but it's just the rest of the cores, in particular Tino. He might have some difficulty scaling if he dies a couple more times in these team fights.
Get this kill? I mean, Palos is farming
attempt.
way on his own.
They'll kill him easily. Oh no, Palos. Neon, you got to be cautious now about making too many plays at the same time on the map. With 2 heroes showing top, it does leave you vulnerable bottom to a smoke.
Bottom tower is under attack.
He could be baiting as well, though. They've got the Chen nearby. They also have the Solar Guardian, but they need to be quick to keep Fortune Soul alive. The BKB reactions, but Tino has locked onto his target. And the Serpent hits and locks the Bloodseeker into place. And now they can catch out Enryu because they can't enter through the stairs. Execration. Great defense in their T2 tower, but they got to be cautious.
Go to the back.
Radiant's middle tower
They're pinging
is
it.
under attack.
They see him. Oh, he might be looking to go for the target that's a little bit more isolated, but the BKB lets him get back to safety. X-Mark not even needed. That's a pretty big win coming through from Execration there, getting away essentially unscathed. Still lose the tier 2 tower, I suppose, but could have been far worse.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Does at least give Neon now some more map control to play with. So pretty much bottom is theirs for the taking, which now means that Alchemist, his home is solely towards a triangle and maybe that hard camp and small camp towards the top side of the map. So I really want to see Neon.
He just died there though, right? So does he even have that freedom anymore? Maybe if he calls his team to be able to back him up a little bit more, I mean, he just needs to play for that Blink Dagger timing, right? The thing that's going to let you go onto the Storm Spirit for a change.
Because they really struggle with being able to jump the Storm. Even jumping the Shadow Shaman's incredibly important. See how much impact he's been able to have so far onto Playhard, who already has this Blink completed. Philosopher's Stone, and into the Ag Shard next is going to be the Shaman. So Playhard will be an issue as the game goes on, and I would not be surprised if he considers something like a BKB just to guarantee that lockdown in the fights.
Makes a lot of sense to me. They really don't have anything that's going to, excuse me, disrupt it outside of the Earth Splitter coming through it. Maybe a Basher eventually.
Avatar mode. Zipping onto the Undying, but Execration, they are playing with Vincenzo. Very close to the tier 1 tower. Any reactions coming out? Bob's going to look to TP in. The age is going to expire in 15 seconds. If Execration can continue to play with the Storm, they might be able to wait it out.
Age is gone. Avatar mode gets back just in time. I believe that's a Basher as well, finished up for Fortune Soul. So, what item can he really be looking to go next? I really wanted to get an Aghanim Shard, but with how early that first Roshan fell down, and with the 5k lead that you've got, you assume that you could just look to wait for it. So maybe it's going to be S&Y, something along those lines. Upgrade your Maelstrom, but you don't really need more attack speed when you're a Bloodseeker. You've got the Blood Rage for that.
What do we feel like Execration need to do slightly different in these team fights with them having the 4,000 deficit?
They're just not ready. They need a little bit more of that minus armor. We can see the AC is coming through now for Pelos. Hasn't been farming in as risky of a position in these past few minutes, protecting his life a little bit more fervently. But even Shanks.
Dire are scanning.
Scan connects and Neon, they're going to look to enter. They see the Conqueror and they get the jump instantly. Hex is out into the chain control, but Pelos is going to be able to disrupt the shackles, but it doesn't matter. Bob is out, and now they continue to take the team fight as Avatar mode. He wants to deal with a Tombstone, which will enable Fortune Soul to target down Pelos. Tino, he can do whatever he can hope to possibly turn this around, but Neon have dealt the damage at the start of the fight. They've killed off too many heroes. Onto Shanks they go next. A stomp into the TP, the sole survivor and Execration will make it out. But Neon once again find the initiation, and it is proving to be the issue here for Execration in these fights.
Feels like it's been the case all throughout today, right? The people that are just farming underneath some pretty obvious vision are the ones that end up falling down, and it's happened a few times now. That vision on the high ground providing all of the information you could possibly need. Good target prioritization to come through, try and burst down the Shadow Shaman. He does eventually fall, but not before you get a much bigger scalp in the Kunkka, preventing a lot of that teamfight prowess. Didn't even get off the BKB.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really concerning now, because his Bloodseeker matchup overall in the entire game, he has some incredible core matchups, not just because the Rupture, but the Aghanim Shard, like you mentioned. Is he going to pick it up? Is he going to wait for second Roche? You see at the moment he's going Mjolnir, but he just tore through the Alchemist and Elk had BKB pop. Just wait till Fortune Soul now plays with Ag Shard. I'm very worried for Radiant.
Yeah, me too. Even just having a second think about the Mjolnir. I mean, you're going up against a Razor, right? Just put the active onto whatever target Razor's linking.
Top lane, they see Tino in the lane. Playhard's going to jump forward. The rest of the team is starting to react, but they might be too late. Enru's going to try and charge up the Solar Guardian, but look at the counter initiation. Shakes sets it up perfectly into Palos. He'll jump over to the right side as well, catching out Ser. That is what they needed on Execration, because Roche is up in 15 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower
Really does feel like Avatar mode needs to be the one going a little bit more aggressively with the boys when that happens. It wasn't the perfect overlay of spells to... Oh, I'm hearing an unstable concoction coming through from Palos. Won't click forward, so ends up stunning himself. But yeah, they didn't perfectly overlap their spells with good reason. They obviously needed to get that kill super quickly on into the piece, and we saw exactly why. Shanks able to join through, assist the rest of the team, but if Storm Spirit's there, different story. Roshan up as well, something huge to have to play around. Bloodseeker really needs that Aghanim Shard, nearly level 20. If you're able to get a free shard, you can just go into the next timing for yourself so much quicker. Probably going to be around the Abyssal Blade again. Just as the reason for the Mjolnir being super effective, with Razor locking in onto one target, having the Alchemist frequently hitting people. Same sort of thing with the Abyssal Blade a little bit, just for the Vanguard component, you know, provides you with a whole lot more survivability.
Avatar mode. It's going to look to start towards the Undying. Execration, they are playing behind him. Another double stomp, but the follow-up is not going to be there with the Earth Splitter on cooldown, and this might open up the pit now for Neon. Oh, he's even going to buy back. All right, we got a big fight on our hands.
Alk has no TP for 8 seconds. It's a wasted
gone.
buyback.
Uh-oh. I'm very intrigued about this. Avatar mode gets the shard, and they gave the Aegis to the Bloodseeker.
Okay. I guess he thinks that the timing yet to come on the Storm Spirit is going to be even more impactful just for the vision component. Shiva's Guard going to provide a lot. Again, you are against a lot of this heavy minus armor, so any chance that you get to be able to buy into additional armor is going to be a big positive for you.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Radiant's top tower.
Execration, they
How long
doubled.
Tortured Souls... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they smoked and then they reapplied the smoke with not finding connection. So this has to go right here for Execration. They have committed a lot for the team fight.
Turning off the Radiance, walking into the fire trail though from the Celestial Hammer, and
Dire
that's
are
going to be
scanning.
double smoke that's not as effective as they were wanting it to be. Level 20, I believe that's the Aghanim Shard bought by the Bloodseeker coming out to him.
Try to get the zip forward. Lincoln's gonna be popped. Protecting Tino, and they'll deal with the Serpent once. Just Lincoln's was completed for Tino. Otherwise, Neon, that would have been an opportunity for them to potentially bring down the Razor and take that fight with the Aegis advantage.
Just trying to slow things down again. You're not... I was about to say you're not quite ready. But I mean, what else are you really waiting for on Execration? They've got the Aegis. I don't think you can wait this game out for another 3.5. Tino, he's got his Lincolns, he's got his BKB, so he's really not worried anymore about the Bloodseeker. I guess just having the Aghanim Scepter on Shanks is really significant, only 400 gold away. He's already level 15 as well, so he's actually going to have a really good high amount of physical damage coming through in these fights.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We have been able to see Shanks. Like, he will deal with the Shadow Shaman until he gets his BKB. That there's always going to be that answer. What's going up here? Tino scouts play hard. They have a ward on the high ground. So they know no one's playing behind Tino at the moment. In fact, Execration, they're spoken across the map because Avatar mode, he's in their sight. Spot, they get the first stun. The follow-up take control needs to be perfect, and it's not. Just shy, and as soon as they show in the mid lane Neon, they jump on that opportunity to bring down Tino into the tier 2 tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He's pretty heavily pushed in as well, so going to be knocking on this tier 2, taking out another one of these outer towers. Specifically, again, you're playing with an Alchemist lineup. You want to have the freedom to play around your own triangles. So
Radiant's top tower
right now,
has
Palos
fallen.
playing as far on the other side of the map as he can, just trying to shove lanes and he's going into his own abyss play. They really are lacking that control for the Storm Spirit.
Radiant structures
ET,
are
incredible high ground.
0-11.
What a performance it's been
Dire's
so far
bottom
from
tower
Mr. Avatar mode. He's got the Shivas. What would he queues up afterwards? I mean, depends if we even get to that stage. So 11,000 net worth lead.
Aghanims, perhaps? A little bit more control for your team, never a bad thing.
Oh.
Dodges out some of these
Definitely
Lincolns
not.
as well for the initial lockdown.
All right, well, this is an item that was catastrophic in the previous series with the Conquer JG going the Hex with the Xerxia against Army Geniuses, and well, we see it now completed here for Mr. Bob. This is what they could need
what
just
we
to
were
catch
waiting
the
for.
Storm Spirit off guard.
The Scepter, though, on Shanks. That's what we wanted to see. Won't get close enough to be able to hit up onto his level 16, so Natural Order, excuse me, not completely maxed out. Avatar mode still walking around, holding onto a gem. No, I mean, it's kind of a defensive item in the Lincoln Sphere, but he still needs that plate mail in my eyes. He is going to go to negative armor because he's holding onto the Nether Shawl until he buys that plate mail.
Do we feel like Neon, with this Aegis advantage, can puncture the high ground, or Execration? Do they have a lineup where they can just still defend this?
I absolutely think they have a lineup to defend this, but again, it's going to be off the individual plays coming through. If Shanks gets a multi-man stomp into actually right-clicking down, bopping some heads, feels a lot better than if you're on the back foot getting initiated on because of the greater vision that they have
Radiant's bottom
through the use of the
tower is
Chen
under
creeps,
attack.
through Storm Spirit, and through some really great warding so far on Neon. And in the time,
Well-
Palace has just been quietly farming too. Only getting to his level 18, closer towards the Abyssal Blade. Again, just more reliable lockdown. It could be on anyone, really. Probably not the Chen. That's about it, that you don't want to be wasting your Abyssal Blade active onto.
Is he going to reach a critical threshold shortly, though, for the Alchemist?
I suppose. I mean, what else are you really even going to replace at this stage? You're just going to be upgrading your Blink Dagger into a Swift Blink or an Overwhelming Blink, so yeah, I would have to say that the Abyssal Blade is that timing that you're waiting for. You know you don't have an Aegis to contend with anymore. I mean, you're also going to have Fortune Soul, just 300 gold away from the Monkey King bar. So much extra damage when you consider that he's got the additional Blood Rage attack speed, excuse me. Plus 175 with a Mjolnir. It's kind of nutty.
Items from Neon finally being picked up. You got a BKB here for Avatar mode. You got the MKB as well from Fortune Soul. So they will not get anything out of the second Aegis, but it will give them enough time to be able to work towards these big items that they feel will be enough to take this next team fight and potentially take the game. They're ready to go.
Not Tino again. This time around, he's not going to just walk on down the lane. Makes himself a path in the trees to the left-hand side. As long as he can.
Close. Play hard. Pops to Lincoln's. Close to the tier 2 tower, but the instant use of the Solid Guardian and Tino, he'll be killed off. As Execration, they're still going to stick around though. They've got a great ward on the high gun to play with.
Enryu's on his own.
Tino can buy back and rejoin the fight. Avatar mode's going to be cautious. Lincoln's pop. There's the Hex. The chain control needs to be perfect. The boat's going to fly on forward. They should be able to bring him down. They get rid of Avatar mode, but can they clean up the rest of the components out of Neon? As Fortune Soul is crumbling. Execration, they might be doing it. And Ryu tries to charge out to the right side, but they'll get rid of the Dawnbreaker, and they'll get play hard as well. Execration, what an incredible team fight.
It's really good. They had that vision, right? You might lose the initial hero. Tino even buys back as well. Having too much of a damage influence in that fight, but they get baited. They walk. How many times have people died when they've just been underneath vision? That again is kind of obvious coming through here. And well, even the tombstone on the very top of that very hill is just enough to be able to burst them down, get that valuable initial kill onto the Storm Spirit, taking away a huge kill streak from Avatar mode and giving it straight over to Palos. Now he's got the Abyssal Blade, and now they're the ones breaching high ground.
They're going to take a tier 3 tower before Neon do. We are back to an even slate.
It's like you go racks here.
Yeah, they definitely will. They'll get a full set with how fast they push. Oh, wow.
No reason to do any differently. And I mean, Shanks was hitting like a truck in that fight too. He's also got Mask of Madness, yeah.
2 right clicks with 750 damage on the Bloodseeker. Oh, hold that thought. Look at this. They're tipping down to the outpost. They've got a lane ward on Tino. Radiant is starting to move down bottom, but oh no, they didn't complete their pathing, so they didn't get a glimpse of Neon with this quick move play. But Tino pops the BKB, but still the Rupture is going to prove to be an issue. They can chase him down with the right click damage. They'll secure the kill. But we saw what Execration could do prior without Tino. Let's see if they can mirror that.
We just bought the Aghanims. Is that the Conquer? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yes.
Okay. The Torrent Storm around him. Has he gone into the Torrent Talents? Well, they've taken a fair few of them away, huh? Still, the AoE is the important part, even just being able to potentially clip onto the Shadow Shaman in some of these fights. Yeah, he's got the BKB, but doesn't necessarily matter all too much.
Radiant are scanning.
They might poke high ground. You've got Serpent Wards and Deso.
Lay down the Wraith Pact as well.
Bye-bye Serpent Wards.
A lot more durable than you might think. Tanking up a lot of these tower hits.
That they are. Alright, they'll get a tier 3 tower. They see Vincenzo. Instantly they're picking out the Undying. Trying to collapse on his position on the high ground. That'll force a BKB out of Enryu. They've still got the ward and they're going to jump, play hard. Onto the Conquer. The Earth Splitter's going to get laid down. It won't be enough to dissuade them. They'll kill off Bob. Tino's up in 10 seconds. Bob doesn't have a buyback, but Palos, maybe he can do it himself.
He's ruptured.
Doesn't find a target for the concoction. Now with the rupture, it's going to send Palos packing, which means Fortune Soul. He can charge on 4. They get the shackles into the ultimate. Palos is gone, and he doesn't have a buyback.
That's all play hard, man.
Tipping to the back lane. BKB pop refresher as well. Look at the damage. Hang on, Tino, look at the damage. Shakes with a couple of right clicks too. You were asking for the call out of Titan. We got his support, but he's still doing core amounts of damage as Shanks just cleaves one member down onto the next.
2 seconds, 1800 damage from that Elder Titan in just 2 right clicks. He hasn't even gotten into anything else. Like, he's gone crit next. I like it. Wouldn't hate to see a Silver Edge either start to come out, and even just an Echo Saber for a lot of that burst potential coming through in these team fights. But you just saw how effective the Bloodseeker is if he's able to get that Blood Rage off. Even the Undying, you know, just popping the Flesh Golem actually just buffs up the damage that the Bloodseeker's doing because of the big increase to the old max HP from Vincenzo.
What do you do now if you're Neon though? Because it feels like you need some way to deal with Shanks. This hero he's got 100% cleave now at the 20 talent. He's got crystals completed. Like, he is going to be an issue.
He is for sure. I mean, do you wait for level 25 on the Bloodseeker? Get a couple of rupture charges. Roche is up. It's the axe. Ooh.
He's out of mana. They can get some map control now, knowing that the Storm Spirit doesn't have mana.
Lagbear creep though, scattered it out. I think they were just out of range for that smoke, trying to catch out anyone. They know how important play hard is.
He's gonna blind jump to the high ground, and they'll get him. There's nothing Ser can do, and Ser, he's gonna be caught out as well. Let's see what Execration want to do if they want to commit for the Chen. They'll back off as soon as they see the buyback out of play hard.
Weren't able to get down any of their vision as well after that kill attempt, so it does mean that they're still in a bit of a risky position. To be fair though, they didn't have to commit super heavily on Execration to be able to get that one. Yeah, they used the Chemical Rage at the boat, but it's still relatively low cooldowns, only 25 away.
Look at Vincenzo's positioning. Pops the smoke, gets out with the Glimmer Cape. Avatar mode's going to commit, but the Tombstones lay it down. They're going to drop everything to deal with the Undying, who doesn't have a buyback. In fact, that might be his dieback with how dead he's gone for. And yep, that proves to be the case. And now they could move to consider Roshan here for Neon. Do you give this up for free if you're Execration? Oh, you might not have a choice. Oh my god.
Next, can get another great stomp off. Not in time. Well, Storm actually just gets the Aghanim Scepter for free.
Playout just bought back. This is a decent kill if they can get the Shadow Charm if they don't have to commit too heavily. And Rue's going to be off to the left side. Tino's just going to jump in with the BKB, but the TP out, they need some right clicks and they won't have it. They cannot take the fight if you're Neon.
They got the refresher though on Tino. So maybe they feel like they still can't.
Fortune Soul is very close to this level 25. That's going to be a big talent. Now you can consider, I think you honestly rupture the Alchemist plus the Elder Titan. I was going to say maybe the Razor, but with how much farm Shanks has, I think there's definitely an argument to be made to rupture Shanks.
I think it depends who you go on to, right? Basically, you're at the stage where I don't think you care too much about the Kunkka. You're just going to be zipping in, getting the initial lockdown onto someone that isn't Kunkka, and then the other people are the ones that need to be dying through the use of these ruptures. So ideal scenario would be like Rupture Razor, Rupture Alchemist, run down the Elder Titan.
Okay, well with that third roast, the components, we got the Cheese onto the Dawnbreaker, Ages on Fortune Soul, and the important third one is the Scepter onto Avatar mode. He's got the Arcane Rune in the bottle. He's got a Timeless Relic as well. We're going to see Vincenzo once again.
25.
Oh, and 25. First 25 of the game for the Storm Spirit. Fortune Soul very close to finding his own. You need to give the Bloodseeker 25 before a fight.
Avatar mode nuked the wave, so not going to happen just yet. Play hard. Can he find someone else again? Just blinks forward, trying to force a play out of Execration first.
Zip in! Zip in! Avatar mode! And the Solar Guardian, they're out and down for the count!
That's it!
Oh my lord! It's all on Shakes. It's going to be a miracle for the Elder Titan to clean them all up. What an Aghanim Scepter reveal. Probably the best I have seen out of a Storm Spirit.
Holy shit! Just got them all the vision, everything provided to the by play hard, forcing once again that bad reaction. Do it again. He's ready.
Get rid of the Aegis, play hard though. Comes to the back with the BKB, but the Alchemist is in trouble. Shakes is gonna make some space, but he can't do anything. Palace is gone, that's a dieback. ET's gone, and we're going to a game 3. Neon, what a performance. They can send us all the way to the distance once again. Man, what a crazy game 2.
Don't care about that last play on Avatar mode. Play hard's the MVP. He did everything this game. He found the pickoffs. He was good with vision. He pushed lanes out with his shard. He forced bad reactions, like I was just saying there, with his mass serpent wards. He provided